Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today's video is going to discuss my favorite stories from the January-February Asimov's science fiction magazine. There you go. To begin with, the readers' poll ballot is in this issue. My previous video that I put up a while ago gave you my recommendations for the readers' poll for Asimov's and also for Analog's Analytical Laboratory. The top three: novellas, novelettes, short stories, poems, covers, science fact articles in Analog's case. So we won't spend time today going over those again because that was in my previous video. Those ballots are due on February 1st, so if you haven't submitted them, please do. You're running out of time. So on to this magazine and my favorite stories. First, I want to talk about a novelette by Neil Asher called An Alien on Crete. It's a story of a man who comes upon a crashed extraterrestrial, not in his backyard specifically, but in his neighborhood, and decides to help it out and keep it hidden from the prying eyes of government and folks who might, want to do it harm. Very entertaining story, pretty basic, E.T. keep E.T. safe from the government story, until he starts to realize that his own, our narrator, or not our narrator, but our main character, his own perceptions seem to have been increased following contact with the alien. Like he lives in Greece. He's an expat who lives in Greece, and he has, a reasonable command of the language, but at one point he realizes that he's speaking and understanding it absolutely flawlessly. He's noticing things, smelling things, hearing things that he hadn't before, which as a reader, of course, we attribute to the presence of the alien, until towards the end of the story, the reason for that is made clear. And it's made clear to us as readers, to the audience, slightly before it's made clear to the narrator, which I appreciated and enjoyed, because it wasn't like well before the main character rather figured it out. So it wasn't a case of, as a reader, you're reading it saying, my God, man, how can you not figure this out yet? Because shortly after you realize what's going on, he realizes what's going on. So that was an entertaining aspect of it. The Palace of Dancing Dogs. The Palace of Dancing Dogs by Alan M. Steele is a novella. I referred to this briefly in my last video because it is the closing chapter of a series of, I think there have been 4 previous novelettes that involve human settlers on an alien planet populated by canine-like beings. They've been there for a while, but there's a mystery. As readers, you realize there's a mystery, and they sort of have as the characters realize there's this mystery of what happened. Why this human race that was able to successfully fly to another planet doesn't seem to have that level of technology anymore. In this story, Palace of Dancing Dogs, our heroes sail to another continent that has a higher level of technology, and they realize, actually it's kind of explained to them, the reasons for why this segregation happened, why the humans on this island, this continent rather, have no appreciable technology, but the humans over here do. Having read the previous novelettes leading up to this, it's been a story that I've been enjoying and talked about in previous videos as well. It was a very satisfying concluding chapter, a very good ending to the story. Well written, of course, very enjoyable, but like as the final chapter of this saga, I really enjoyed it and really appreciated it. Another one I want to talk about is a short story called Go Now Fix by Timon Zasias. The main character of this story is a smart pillow, yes, a smart pillow, that finds itself on a plane that's about to crash. Now, the pillow's AI, of course, its primary directive is to provide comfort, because it is a pillow. Typically, that would be to one person, its owner. But in this particular case, the owner of the pillow had not registered it, so it took that to mean provide comfort to everybody on this plane that's about to crash. Like an engine blew out and people are hurt and the thing's coming down. So the smart pillow realizes that the best way he can fulfill his directive to provide comfort is to try and help do what he can to save the plane. which includes helping out some of the onboard AIs, the rescue drones, and that sort of thing, who can effect repairs to the plane and prevent it from crashing. He ends up actually becoming kind of a hero. I say he, but the smart pillow ends up becoming sort of the hero of the event because his actions really enabled the plane to come down with as few casualties as possible. It was a fun little heartwarming ending to a really fun and entertaining story. Of course, the editorial celebrates the fact that 2020 is Isaac Asimov's 100th birthday. January 2nd was his actual birthday. So he would have been 100 years old today. And Sheila Williams in her editorial talks about his legacy and talks about, shares some fun remembrances and a few anecdotes of meeting him when she started working at the magazine, and other social events coming across his path and that sort of thing, which was kind of fun, once again, a very solid issue all around. I hope you've had a chance to read it, and if you have, please let me know what some of your favorite stories were, and I will see you back here shortly with a review of the January-February analog. So until then, take care.